What's up, AEW wrestling fans? It's Scott, and on the line, the other line here with me is my boy Kobe. What's up, Kobe?
What's up, bro? What's up? What's going on, people?
Hey, man, another good week, right? Another good week in wrestling. Coming out of the pay per view, we had
Oh
some
yeah.
problems with the pay per view not being able to live stream. Who knew? YouTube wouldn't let you live stream on your first attempt. You had to hit it, request it, and then 24 hours later. So next pay per view, mark my words, we'll be out there live streaming, talking our commentary of the pay per view live as it happens. But of course, right, probably the big highlight coming out of that was Christian Cage. Was the multi-year signing of Christian Cage. Huge loss on WWE, right, man? That's a
Oh
big
yeah.
loss,
Christian
man.
Christian Cage is nothing but the inanimate pro in every sense of the word. Christian Cage, gets the fans hyped, and they love Christian Cage, and Christian Cage is great. So
Right?
that's a good sign by AEW.
Right? Yeah, it's great. Before we get too far into it, man, let's hit our tagline. Let's talk wrestling. So here we go,
Yeah,
man. So
let's talk wrestling.
so Christian Cage, great signing for AEW. Man, they got so much going on, dude. I see him obviously, having watched through this week, see him in that title picture. The way that he came in and he almost unprettied Kenny Omega, man, at the end of the night.
Almost, yeah,
So
it was almost there, and then at the snag, I thought, what, it was Callis that snagged him out, I think. Got him out of the ring, got Omega out of the ring before it happened.
yeah, the invisible hand pulls him out, but it does leave Christian Cage in the ring holding the AEW title, which obviously is some foreshadowing, signs of things to come. So, man, there's so many different things. We'll get into that, man. But let's hit Dynamite this week, man. It started off with just another great way to start it off. Matt Jackson and Ray Phoenix. I mean, again, to me, they tore the roof off. This could have been a match that was a pay per view, main event pay per view and any card, any organization, anywhere, man. These guys are amazing when they get together.
Yeah, it was a great beginning match to start the night off. The Jackson boys always get it done. Whichever one's in the ring, and Phoenix, he's always been amazing, man.
Right?
He just constantly brings it, brings it. He's probably one of the best acrobats I've ever seen in a wrestling ring.
Right. So Ray Phoenix gets the upset win. Of course, there was a Canadian Destroyer. Man. You know me, brother. I'm a huge mark for Canadian Destroyer,
Yeah,
and
the
they
Canadian Destroyer. That's such a cool move.
right.
It's something else. It's an amazing move itself. So
So there was a Canadian Destroyer to any number of about a million other high flying acrobatic, just an incredible match. But Ray Phoenix, man, gets the victory in this one. Setting up obviously that the Death Triangle has a shot at those tag team championships coming up. Um, could be the precursor, man. It could be the precursor to what's going to happen. This Death Triangle, do they have the young Bucks number? Maybe we'll have to see.
yeah, it's hard to say. It will be incredible to see who actually wins that one. I'd like to see Death Triangle get to give them a little bit of something in AEW, but you never know. The Bucks always hold strong for some reason, and
Right.
they might sneak away and keep it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're setting up for the inevitable. The Good Brothers against the Young Bucks in the title versus title match, which we'll talk about a title versus title match coming up. But see, and then in the second match, man, we went into Cody in a squash match against Seth Gargis. Just an absolute squash, figure four immediately. Right as Cody gets handed the microphone to do a little interview, in ring promo, and from the crowd, somebody starts talking, and it's Penta. And Penta
Yeah,
gets all up in Cody's business, all the way to mentioning Cody's unborn daughter. And of course, that gets the reaction that Cody, goes straight to the outside and goes after Penta, and and the chase is on at that point. They continued on Twitter, man. I actually seen them going back and forth. Cody letting Penta know that he'll end him if he mentions his daughter again, and you know it. It's setting up for that's gonna be a great match, man. The rivalry is there with that one too. And it's gonna be a great match between Penta and Cody. That one's coming up here on the St. Patrick's Day Slam. They're gonna settle that this Wednesday night.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting match. I didn't see the Twitter. That's good that they're using the social media because you know younger generation absolutely loves social media. That's their gambit to go ahead and see a lot of things. So that's cool that they use that. That Cody used that to show that the match will be happening. With what's going to happen to Penta if he does that again.
Right. And then they went into an interview, man, and this one ended kind of weird. I really, again, there's the angles, man. They're all over the place so many times, so often that it's hard to really predict what's going on. So Shivani's out with, this is Sting, and Sting comes out for the interview, and before he can say a word, Lance Archer comes out and basically puts the AEW on notice and lets him know that, if he's not going to get his time, his television time, he's going to start taking it. And, of course, Jake the Snake had some, funny Jake the Snake silly things to say back to Sting. Um, I'm not sure where they're going with that, man. Where Lance Archer fits into the Sting, Darby Allin alliance. I really don't know, man. Archer, man, one minute he's a good guy, the next minute he's a bad guy. I can't keep up with him, but man, I really do. A dude as talented as what Archer is, I hope they find that spot for him, man, and get him pushed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seems like that they are trying to find a spot for him. They're not sure exactly where to put Lance Archer. They're not sure what storyline to go with him, and they're trying to make everything happen with the storyline with him and Archer. But so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't see a Sting versus Archer type thing. Maybe it's Archer going back in to set up against Darby Allin. Could very well be, going after that TNT title, but again, we'll have to see. Then you go to the other new hire the AEW got this week, Ethan Page. He took on Lee Johnson. Unfortunately, it's a good match, man. Two dudes that are very talented, but the match ending really focused around QT Marshall, kind of giving them, whatever, man. Just kind of giving up on Lee Johnson. Uh, a beatdown started with Ethan Page on to Johnson. Dustin comes out, to make the save, asks QT what's going on. QT again walks away just like at the pay per view, man. He actually spit at Dustin at the pay per view and walked away. Not quite sure where this new QT Marshall, much like when he was aligning himself with the bunny a while ago. I'm not quite sure where they're going with this, but there's clearly dissension within that natural. Yeah, the Nightmare family's got some issues, man. The Natural Nightmares, I don't think are going to last much longer, but that Nightmare family has got some issues. They're bringing in a lot of new talent, but I think QT's done.
Yeah, maybe QT for storyline wise has seen the the clear road that they keep bringing in talent. He's like, well, where do I fit in? So
Yeah.
he decided, and that will set up, I guess, the storyline more between him and the Natural Nightmare family and Dustin. So
Yep. Absolutely. So then we get an interview with the Invisible Hand, Callus, and Omega, and the Good Brothers. Of course, he's always flanked by his crew now. They come out and they poke fun at the explosion. So let me go back a little bit here. At the beginning of the night, it started off with Mox and Kingston sitting by a fire pit, kind of talking about the explosion and talking about how even though it really wasn't a big explosion, he was still out there to save him because he wanted to protect him. Fast forward to to Callus, man, it's a genius move, man. Make fun of it before other people get a chance to make fun of it, or make less of it by making fun of it yourself. The explosion, if you watch the pay per view, it was garbage, man. The Young Bucks entrance pyro was 10 times what the explosion was. But man, I'll tell you what, bro, they played it off good. Callis is talking about how you fans are sick. You wanted to watch Moxley die in that ring? Is that what you really wanted? Because if it is, that's why we didn't give it to you. But he played the fans, like, hey, you're sick for wanting that, and then played the heel role with the, hey man, we're we're not going to give you what you want. So they played it real well. Even though it was a total dud, I read some other social media stuff. Omega was super torqued backstage because they had done it several times practice, but when it came real time, it just didn't go as planned. And it's live TV, brother. That's what happens, man. It is what it is. But genius move by Callis and AEW for getting out in front of it and making fun of it, so that the other, social media and other people, other companies, others on social media don't really have. What do you got to make fun of? They already poke fun of it themselves.
Yeah, making fun of yourself, making light of the issue that went down there is that was smart. Just like you said, get ahead of it and not knock it out of the park and say, hey, well, you people are weirdos trying to think that we're going to hurt Moxley that bad.
Yeah.
Hey, you're crazy.
It was genius, man. It was great. It was a great way to get out in front of it. A great way to to turn it back on the fans. Genius move. But that draws out Kingston. So Kingston comes out and he's outnumbered. Obviously, the Good Brothers, Omega, Callis are all in the ring. Kingston, he's Kingston, brother. He's Eddie Kingston. He's not afraid, man. So he's standing tall. Mox or Omega is daring him. He's like, if you hit me, you're gonna get stomped by all four of us. So I know you don't have enough guts to do it. And of course, in total, the King Kingston, in total, the way that he does it, he looks to the fans, looks at Omega a couple times, and then pops Omega in the face, lays him out, and of course, let the butt whooping ensue. The Good Brothers attack. Callis gets a couple licks in. Omega's back up on him. That brings out Mox. Mox comes out, you know, brawling, brawling, brawling. And then finally, that brings out Christian Cage. Cage, like we said, at the beginning of the Cage, he went for the unprettier man. He went to hit it. Callis saved Omega's butt, but it left Cage standing in the ring with that AEW World Title, holding it up, kind of looking at it, giving the fans something to think. Is that what we're going to see here in the near future? Is Christian the one that's going to upset Omega and take that belt from him?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Only time will tell with that too. With Christian Cage potentially being on it, that was, like I said, absolutely a great sign by
Oh
AEW.
yeah.
No doubt. It'd be cool to see how those storylines all pan out.
I think when we were trying to do our live thing, I went back and I did put a snippet out there because we did call MJF being the leader of the new Four Horsemen group, whatever we're going to call it. We did call that during that match, and we've been talking about that for months before. And then during the pay per view, the way he came out in that very Flair esque robe with the Tar Heel blue trunks on, he did a Flair strut. To me, it was a lot of Easter eggs, man. We even said that. Man, is this an
Yeah,
Easter egg? Is he dropping an egg that he's going to lead that group? And sure enough, man, he most certainly did. Um, that just amazing. It was awesome. It was amazing. But on that same note with Callis and Omega and those guys, we look at some coming up ahead. There's an Impact pay per view tonight where Moose and Rich Swann battled out for the TNA title versus the Impact title. The winner's the undisputed champion, but the winner of that goes forward to face Kenny Omega. And I think we said April 24th at Rebellion
April 24th at Rebellion.
for a title versus title match. So it makes you really think, like, where in the heck are they going? Where are we going to go with this? You know what I mean? This title versus title. Omega's got to pull the title there. From Impact, maybe taking the Impact title, or are they going to combine? What's going to happen? What? There's a lot of craziness, man. A lot of this is exciting, man. It's an exciting time to be a wrestling fan. There's no question
Yeah,
about it.
I'm hoping for myself. It was just a personal note. I'm hoping Swanee gets it. I like to see Swanee and Omega go at it for that April 24th at Rebellion. That would be great. Just two great wrestlers know how to entertain the fans. They know how to bring it in the ring, and they're just all around great performers.
Right? Absolutely.
I miss Swanee. I watched him wrestle live, and watching him wrestle live something else. I haven't seen Omega yet, but it brings a lot to the table just having those two go at it. So
Oh heck yeah.
I'd like to see that be the match, but if not, it still will be good with Moose. Moose can go too at times. So
Right. So back when I was on my rant with the MJF thing, I got caught up on that because I'm pretty stoked about, you know me, man. I'm all about Four Horsemen. I'm all about, any kind of recreation of those horsemen. Stables in general, man. That to me, that makes wrestling. But I got off on that rant with MJF. But we actually, during that pay per view, at the beginning of it, when we started doing our talk, we were totally swerved with Christian because several sources were saying that Christian had signed with WWE. That Christian, it would be a waste for that embrace with his former partner Edge. The way that they connected at the Rumble. That I got fooled, man. I read several places that Christian was WWE signed, sealed, and delivered in a contract. So he completely fell off my radar. But man, I'm glad that they got him. Um,
Yeah,
can't wait to see
yeah.
what they do with him.
Like I told you, this, how I like the surprise. The surprise is so great for wrestling when you get the surprise, and I'm glad it was so closely tight-lipped. It was, with Paul White, Christian Cage, and Tony Khan. Evidently, those were the three to do, and that was it. And I'm so glad that it came out to be, that nobody knew, that nothing could be leaked. It was beautiful
Right.
having the surprise for once.
Right. Speaking of which, man, for the true wrestling fans, the diehards, all of the results for the St. Patrick's Day Slam pay per view are out online, man. Don't click on them, dude. Some knucklehead, I guess it was a television taping. Some knucklehead watched it, posted all of them. It's all over out there, man. Don't know before you click. If it says something about St. Patrick's Day Slam, there's a pretty good chance it's got spoilers in it, man. It's not even worth it. Just watch our program. We'll keep you up to date. We'll let you know what's going on. But I'm telling you, don't click on that, man. Just sit back and watch it as it happens. It'll be worth it, definitely. So let's see. Let's see. We go to a women's match with Maki, what is her name? Maki Atan, Nyla Rose, Britt Baker against Thunder, Rio, and Sheeta. Um, and and Maki decides as the intro, she's singing a song, um, and she decides she's not going to quit singing a song through the beginning of the match. Uh, awesome pop for her. Cool plug, man. It was pretty awesome to see her do that. Um, it, it ended up being the heels. Britt Baker and company took the victory. To put another beat down on Thunder Rosa. Thanks to Rebel's crutch. Because her knee is so messed up right now. but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, Maki, man, she did her whole song, man. She was not going to be stopped at all, and it was hilarious to see that.
Yeah, it was funny, and it's funny how a lot of these younger kids, probably, I don't know, let's say 18 to whatever, into that Japanese anime, and I felt like I was watching Japanese anime with wrestling. So it was very creative to have that, and cool introduction of the new female from Japan.
Yeah, it was awesome. I know she's got a match coming up. We'll hit that here in a second. But then we go we go into the main event of the night was Darby Allin defending that television title against Scorpio Sky, who won the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Again, great match, exactly what you would expect from Darby Allin and Scorpio Sky getting in there and squaring off. At the end, Darby gets a great a roll up, you know what I'm saying, to keep Scorpio strong. No finishers in this match. It was a straight up roll up pin. Um, Darby comes over, gives Scorpio a smack on the shoulder, letting him know, hey man, good match. Face to face, it was a good match. It had crowd into it. And then Scorpio turns to Darby, when he's got his back turned, takes him down, puts him in an ankle lock, and just locks it in, man, and just rakes on it. When he's done, he stops and looks at his hands, almost as if, what have I just done, man? But it ends with him smiling. Very, I like his music. I like the Batman reference at the beginning. Very Batman looking, or Joker. I'm sorry, very Joker esque in that, looking at his hands and smiling that clearly he's just turned heel right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. That was cool. Stealing some things from Batman to do it. You can almost tell that he's a fan of Batman, or he wanted to use that. So that was pretty cool seeing that.
So And then it goes to the war council between the inner circle. We know, we knew it was coming. We knew you could tell. We read into MJF. They're so talented at acting. MJF, man, and Chris Jericho can tell the story without saying the story. They can talk around it and tell you a very explicit story. So of course they go out there, bring out Sammy Guevara. So Sammy's back. Sammy lets him know, hey, I got a videotape of backstage footage. And after Chris Jericho walked out of one of the locker room sessions, MJF comes in and Swagger and Proud and Powerful in there. And he tells him, hey, man, it's time for a change and it's time for me to take over. They jump up and high five him, telling me, yeah, we got your back. Jericho, of course, is like, you got to be kidding me, MJF. There's no way. And MJF's like, yeah, it's been coming for a long time. You're an idiot. Sick 'em, boys. So, Santana, Ortiz, Swagger start creeping towards Jericho. They get right up to Jericho, and they all turn around, and they're all faced off against MJF now. So now you got Proud and Powerful, Sammy, Chris Jericho, and Swagger all staring down MJF. And MJF, the little pitbull man, he ain't backing down. He's letting them know, you guys are idiots. If you think that this was my plan, you're stupid. The lights go out. When the lights come back on, who's in the ring? FTR, Wardlow, Sean Spears, Tully Blanchard. And they put a beating that I haven't seen in a long time in wrestling. A faction, an NWO type beating, a Four Horsemen type beating onto the inner circle. Jericho, they busted him open. I mean, it was brutal, man. They put him through a freaking table. They took him up to the top of the stage, threw him off the stage through a table. Wardlow powerbombed Jericho through the table from the top of the stage. It was, like I said, Horseman, NWO, whatever your age group is, whatever faction you're, it was a beating. Exactly how a faction should open up.
Yeah. Besides the beatdown, which I truly enjoy because I enjoy the old school stuff with that. Uh, the fact is that MJS, when he said, yeah, yeah, you guys thought I wanted the inner circle. Nah, no way I wanted the inner circle, man. You guys gotta be kidding me. How he was like, don't hurt me, basically don't hurt me in the corner. And it was funny. And all of a sudden, then, like you said, the lights go down, and then whatever the name's gonna be, they come out and oh, so funny. Such a good actor MJF is. I love watching him and Jericho every time they're in the ring. I just love them. They're some of the best deals to ever get it done.
There's no question that FTR and Sean Spears are going to be an incredible faction. The three of them. You throw Wardlow into the mix. Now you got your Big Bubba Rogers, man. You got your enforcer in there. Now you got your mouthpiece, man. You got your Nature Boy. You got the absolute best heel, as far as I'm concerned, the best heel in the business right now. MJF as your mouthpiece, front and center. That faction is going straight to the top. The only thing that's it's going to be rough is, to be that powerful four horseman type faction, got to start getting some belts. So they got to get into a position to take some belts or start wreaking havoc at least on the championship picture. But it's going to be, again, awesome time to be a wrestling fan, man. It's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see how the storylines go and how the belts flow, or maybe they don't flow. But it'll be interesting to see nonetheless.
So that leads us to this Monday night, man. The first time, Monday, March 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube is going to be AEW Dark Elevation is going to be the first one on Big Show or Paul White. Paul White will be him and Shivani will be calling the action. Matches on that one's going to be Rio against Maki Ito. I could not for some reason, man, I couldn't put that together. Thinking about her up there doing her little pop dance and song was hilarious. But Maki Ito against Rio, Jungle Boy against Danny Limelight. That what I think is going to steal the show, man. This is my prediction. Max Caster of the Acclaimed is going to take on Dante Martin of the what's his tag team? The two brothers, the High Flyers.
Yeah, yeah. Top flight.
Top flight. Yeah, man. So Dante, and that's going to seal the show, man. Because Caster looked amazing, even though he didn't win that face of the Revolution ladder match. Dude, he was up there all the time. He looked good. He impressed me, man. And I personally not a huge fan of his, but man, I'm coming around now, man. He put on a great show. But him and Dante Martin, those Martin brothers, man, Top Flight are an amazing tag team. So in singles competition, those two going to be great. I read that the reason that Caster's doing the singles work is his partner ended up with I think he's had knee surgery maybe. But again, this is going to set up a great Top Flight versus the Acclaimed. As his partner heals up. Then Ty Conti against Ashley Vox. Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs against Brandon Cutler. Should be good. Hopefully Cutler can pull one off here. Red Velvet against Danny Jordan. And Ray Lynn against Diamante. And then Skylar Moore against Big Swall. And that leads us into Wednesday night. It's going to take us into Dynamite, which is going to be that St. Patrick's Day Slam. All right, so that takes us back into that St. Patrick's Day Slam event. Like I said, Penta versus Cody. I'm going to start that one off. Hardy Inc. So what's Hardy's giant group of his crew now? Is Matt Hardy? What's he got now? He's got Blade, Butcher and Blade,
Butcher and Blade,
and Private Party. So it'll be
yeah,
five of them
Party, yeah.
against Jurassic Express. So Marco is going to be a part of that one too. Lucha and Jungle Boy and Bear Country, who I like. They got a great upside.
Yeah, a little Bear Country.
So those to be a 10-person tag team match.
Yeah.
Then the Good Brothers. This one kind of came about from the attack that happened on Dynamite, or the attack that happened last week. Yeah, on Dynamite with the Good Brothers. They're going to take on Moxley and Kingston. That'd be great. That should be an incredible match, man. No love lost, absolute hatred, and now you got Mox and Kingston, lifelong friends, man, back together. Should be pretty incredible. Then I read, man, I can't confirm it because I wouldn't click on the spoilers, but I read that Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa are going to do a like Omega and Moxley, one of those unsanctioned matches at the end of the night. So that should be pretty incredible because those two have got an amazing rivalry going. I almost don't want to see it end yet. It's such a good rivalry, but it's going to be good. Unsanctioned, so that way they don't even refer to the Moxley Omega match, unsanctioned match that they had. So this would be a good way to maybe. I don't think they'll close it out. I think it'll intensify it and bring it to a finish here coming up in the next couple months.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think that they gotta start going some different storylines here soon. So we'll see that goes. Plus with the newer talent coming in, they're letting from IWC wrestling on Pittsburgh, letting people like Ray Lynn come in and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see. I think IWC's where Britt Baker originally came from wrestling wise also. So it'll be interesting to see how all these talents are going to go forward in a storyline.
Right? Yes. I mean, now with the with Elevation and a second Dark program, Elevation, so two of them on YouTube. I'm interested to see the numbers too. How much are they going to steal from Monday Night Raw, man? Again, I keep an open mind about it. As we start to get some viewers, maybe we get some other people on talk about the WWE side of it. I haven't really watched much WWE because I'm just not a big fan of what the product has been um, displeasing to me. I'm not the end all be all, but I don't like it, so I don't watch it. So I'm curious to see what AEW does to the numbers on Raw, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the wrestling community is as well. Smart move by Tony Khan and AEW, not signing a big cable deal to go head to head and compete with them, but let's get a feel. Let's put that feeler out there and see what we can do to them off of YouTube. Just posting it on the or putting live streaming it onto YouTube. I'm curious, man. I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be a good week. We got that slam coming up. We got some great matches coming up on that. We'll hear from MJF is going to be at St. Patrick's Day Slam with his new faction. I heard they're going to name it. They're going to give it a name, and the merch is going to go crazy, dude. We're going to get some new Horseman type merch out. It's going to be amazing. Kobe and I'll be back on Saturday. We'll go over everything that happened tonight. Impact Wrestling. We'll give you the download of what happens between Swan and Moose and who's going to be facing off against Kenny Omega in April. But until then, man, I wish you guys the best. Hopefully, click on our stuff, like us, subscribe to us, share us. Let's get a fan base going, man. Let's get on here. Let's have some Skype calls. Let's talk about it. Let's all get together and let's talk wrestling, man.
Let's talk wrestling.
All right, man. Till next week.